All right, welcome in everyone. This is the weekly reading for the week starting October 20th through the 26th. And this is a big week, so we have the new moon in Libra happening on Tuesday the 21st. And let's see, that's, for some of you it'll be the 21st. That is 5:25 a.m. Pacific time. So it could be on the 22nd for some of you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this new moon. So it is closing out the eclipse portal, meaning this is the first new moon that is not an eclipse since the eclipse season started. So this is kind of closing that out. So it's going to be pretty potent as far as kind of representing a closure of a cycle, a completion, which is good. This eclipse season was intense. So I think we're all going to appreciate kind of that settling down, closing up of all of that kind of really, I'm getting the visualization of like a puzzle that you put together, but then you're like, just threw it all up and kind of jumbled it back, like I need to start over type of energy. So with this being in Libra, the focus is really going to be around relationships and finances. This is going to focus on healing relational wounds, restoring harmony within ourselves and with our connection with others. So this is going to be beautiful energy. It's really asking us to explore new ways of how we relate to ourselves, but how we relate to other people. It's really offering opportunities to gain new understandings. Especially around relationship patterns and how we can change that and manifest new things. This is going to be more potent for those in cardinal signs, which are, of course, Libra, Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn. This could bring new people into your lives or kind of initiate really big, new, significant beginnings and just shifts in current existing relationships as well. So we need to make important changes here, okay? And this is for everybody, not just the cardinal signs. This new moon is asking us to make changes in how we relate, what are our patterns, how can we shift and grow. So this is the constant focus in this physical existence. And I know we bring it up, I bring it up a lot, everyone brings it up a lot, but really the purpose of life is in every moment to approach it anew. How can I approach it better? How can I shift? How can I change? How can I grow? What is what I just experienced, or what am I experiencing now that is giving me new insight about life, about myself, about how I relate and interact with this physical experience. So also, this is going to bring up new, fresh energy as well. That new moon is about what do we want to bring in. And I think it's going to, especially again, going back to Libra, it's really a time that's going to invigorate our social lives, our romantic lives. And this is going to be a great thing. I feel new energy coming in. So if you feel like, oh my God, this energy for even this whole year or the last 6 months has been pretty heavy and intense. It's been asking us to do a lot of deep work. And Libra, we're closing out Libra season as well, and we're about to shift into Scorpio season on the 22nd, which is on Wednesday. So really it's like, okay, our focus on relationships. I feel like this Libra season has been intense. I think a lot of people are noticing a lot of focus on relationships, and if there's patterns or getting really big aha moments of seeing people for who they really are, seeing the dynamics in a relationship, what needs to change, potentially what do I need to walk away from, what do I want to bring in, things like that. So we need to restore. So then we're restoring, right? After the eclipses, we need to restore. We need to rebuild. We need to bring in new. And this is going to be around reciprocity, cooperation, and harmony. And so along with the new moon in Libra, we have the new moon opposite Chiron, which we have the healing journey of relationships, the healing journey of, like, again, things within ourselves. And we're gaining clear awareness about how past pain continues to impact the way we show up in the now, especially around relationships. What do we want to attract, and how do we want to shift and magnetize new? And as we know, Chiron is the wounded healer and teacher. So it's really about teaching us and deepening this healing energy. And that opposition, even though it's opposition, it's that resistance, right? It's the resistance to healing. So there may be some deep pain or trauma that you haven't fully healed, that you haven't fully allowed yourself to integrate, that's going to be triggered. This could be especially around old stories, belief systems. I'm not good enough. People don't love me. Stories of abandonment, rejection, or betrayal, especially if you've had that in the past. And we're going to be able to see unconsciously how we recreate these dynamics. We then have the new moon squaring Jupiter and Pluto. So this is going to obviously intensify things a lot. We have squares, we have oppositions, especially with Pluto. That is the planet of death and rebirth and transformation. So Jupiter is that activation. And there's going to be that pull between Jupiter wanting to bring in just good things, where Pluto's like, hey, wait, before we can shift destiny, before we can make it easy, we need to ensure that you're really doing the transformation, that you finally learned the lesson, and that the transformation is complete. So lots going on this week, but I do feel like it's going to help us kind of move in a better direction. It's going to help us kind of cleanse some of this emotional stuff or relationship stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull a Moonology card just around this new moon, Libra new moon, to see what the theme is going to be besides what I just said, but let's see what the cards say. So we have nothing will come of the situation. Void of course moon. We have work through your fears, new moon and Scorpio. Yeah, I sense this. There's a lot of fears coming up. This is that Pluto energy. This is that opposition to Chiron. It's those deep, deep fears, this deep, deep hurt or pain that we're going to be having to, we're going to be face to face with it again. And it may be very difficult or painful, but nothing's going to come of these fears. This is again just a process right now. It's not actual reality. So if you're feeling like, oh my God, this is happening, or oh, I'm feeling this again, something's bad's going to happen. Again, nothing's going to come of it, because this is just that process of really integrating this finally. A fiery climax approaches. Yeah, we're hitting we've already hit the climax. You may be feeling it right now. I think the new moon on Tuesday is kind of, we're finally coming around the climax, is kind of what I'm feeling here. Before, I'm going to actually read the Nothing Will Come of the Situation card, but first I'm going to pull one of the Halloween oracles here, since we are getting closer to Halloween. We have Apple, Risk and Reward. So right now there is some sort of big risk, and that could also be the fear. There's a big risk that your higher self in the universe is asking for you to take right now. Initially, it's going to be so scary potentially because you don't want to repeat, right? Right now, we're like done repeating patterns. We're done dealing with the same sort of dynamics that are toxic or just cause us challenge and suffering all the time. But there is a huge reward here. So let's see. I'm going to Void of Course Moon. So this kind of says, if you are worried about something, whatever it is, this card may be taken as a sign that there's nothing to worry about. It also, though, is asking you to adjust your expectations or change things so you get a different outcome. Definitely. We need to shift our how we approach things. We also need to shift our expectations. And we need to do something completely new here. You can change. Remember that you can, what you are creating, that you can change that with both your behavior and beliefs. The best thing you can do right now is to chant, I surrender to the divine. So this is really surrendering control, surrendering your fears, surrendering these deep, deep hurt feelings potentially. But I'm feeling just like if we can get over this week, we're going to feel a lot better. We're going to feel new energy. So I got these new amazing cards in Salem when I was there. These are the Crystal Struck Tarot. And they're very sparkly here. They are tarot cards. They also have a crystal on each card. Okay, so let's get a message, more detailed message here from the cards. Okay, this one flew out. So we have, underneath we have the Nine of Cups. So this is time for you to finally get what you want and to be very clear about what you want. We're not going backwards. We're not asking for the same thing again. We're not falling into old patterns. What is it that we really want? The Hermit. I feel like a lot of people have been in this Hermit energy here. This is about real introspection here. We're really getting spiritual understanding, a lot of information and guidance from our higher self, from our intuition right now. We're really seeing the ties, the domino effect, the understanding of why we had to go through what we went through. And we're gaining new advanced, we're leveling up here from a knowledge perspective, from wisdom of again, experience. We may have had to do this on our own. We may feel alone right now. It may feel like a lonely path. Temperance. You're getting a lot of, this is a lot of spiritual energy here. The Temperance card is really the divine working with you right now. And this is the surrender. Surrender to the divine. Surrender the situation, your fears, the patterns, the unknown of what tomorrow brings here. But things are really alchemizing. Even though maybe you don't see it, maybe you are really seeing the alchemization happening. And this is around relationships, Two of Cups. Okay, so our relationships are being worked with right now. If there's a really focus on love, wanting the right person, wanting to shift again, a current relationship or shift. This isn't about focusing on the person. This is about focusing on what you really want to feel. What are those things? Contentment. I want to feel ease. I want to feel peace, passion, all that good stuff. So King of Swords, the High Priestess, getting a lot of clarity, especially once we reach the peak of this new moon and afterwards, we're going to get more clarity. You could feel really confused right now. There could be a lot of conflicting feelings, emotions, thoughts going on, but this is going to clear up. You have the Hermit and the High Priestess here. So this is a huge ripe period of time right now that's, again, such spiritual elevation happening right now. Advancements, Six of Cups. And this is about integrating the past. We're getting clarity and really seeing things in a new way here from a third eye perspective, not just like in our mental state, but this is really in our soul. We're really seeing this through a new perspective. The Emperor, Five of Swords, releasing control, Eight of Swords. There's a way to kind of resolve something here without needing to control, without needing to win here. If you're trying to get something from someone or get an certain outcome right now, this is kind of a form of self manipulation and trying to control the external world right now. And I just feel like this is what's kept you stuck in patterns. And you may not feel stuck still. You may still feel like kind of your hands are tied by the past, by the patterns in life. But I feel like there is some sort of integration, reconciliation happen that's really going to cut that blindfold off and cut the binds. Where you feel like you don't feel like your hands are tied to the pain of the past or to your fears. You're going to feel some freedom here. And it's going to feel great. You're going to feel more control. It's funny, the more you let go of control here, and the less you focus on trying to get something, that's when you're going to feel the most in control here with the Emperor. And if you have had relationship dynamics or family dynamics with people who are very stubborn, who are stuck in their ways, and maybe that's where the Five of Swords is. This is a real big dynamic I'm seeing really unraveling, is people who are controlling. This could be, as extreme as narcissistic behaviors, people who are very avoidant, have relationship avoidant attachments, or just people who aren't willing to see new perspectives. They're not willing to get out of their old habits. They want things the way they are. It could be around masculine energies in your life, or it could be just, it can be feminines as well, but it's just, again, that's a real masculine energy of like control, and it needs to be my way. I need to be the leader here, and everyone has to do what I want them to do here. Okay, let's get one more row. We have the Chariot, Two of Pentacles, and Two of Wands, 2 and 2 here. There's something around decisions and making conscious decisions, seeing a new path. There's been a lot of uncertainty that's made you feel like kind of like your hands are tied or stuck, and you're not seeing like you're not seeing opportunity, or like you're not seeing the future here in a way that you feel clarity, that you feel good, that you feel like, okay, I see where I'm going, and I'm feeling confident in it. There's a lot of uncertainty. And I feel like part of the patterns as well has been like everything's always up and down all the time. But we're moving, we're finding harmony here. So in this card, I like the yin and yang, the yin yang symbol here, because it's representing when things finally can come into more harmony, whether it's masculine or feminine energies coming into balance, whether it's just the polarities, that's what really moves us forward and shifts us into more positive directions in our life. What's the Six of Cups? Judgment. Yeah, there's real like Knight of Swords. I feel like there's repressed, this is bringing up like repressed and anger and resentment energy in the collective here. And this obviously is tied to the past. This need to like feel like we need to fight. It's always a battle, and we're always trying to win something. We always feel like we have to fight for what we want. We're fighting everyone else, but they're fighting us, and it's always a war. It's never peace. It's never just opening to receive and surrender instead of fighting, instead of feeling like we always have to fight for our needs to be met, to fight for what we want, for love, whatever it is. But Judgment Day is here. This is a big awakening to releasing this for being stuck again in this constant pattern and making new decisions, conscious new decisions, and approaching things differently. And that's where a new path unfolds. And that's where love can really blossom in a new way that's not resistant energy or fighting but let's see, what's the Emperor and the Five of Swords? More detail. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a big new opportunity here to co-create, to work together in new ways. And this is a way that's going to help build something that's more solid, strong, safe, where you feel safe and you feel like you're both contributing to something bigger. And it's supportive of both parties or families or whatever these dynamics are referencing. But this is a huge turning point. So what's the Two of Pentacles, Two Wands? Three of Wands. Yes, Two Wands, Three Wands. So this is about finally you're getting what you want. You've put out your intentions. I feel like you've already put your intentions out a while ago. You know what you want. You know what kind of relationships you want. You know what you want to feel, what you want your life to look like. And now the universe, when we can actually open ourselves to receive and surrender, all of a sudden, that's when the universe can actually give us what we want. So I love this. One more here. More around the Two of Cups. Strength. Yeah. It's having the strength and courage to love. I think that's been a big issue, is we don't feel, a lot of the collective doesn't feel safe to love. They don't feel they can trust love. And this is what manifests in these dynamics. It's like consciously and in our heart, all we want is love. We want love. We want our needs met when it comes to love. We want to feel good. We want things to be easier. We want people to attract that is in line with our values, with that, what's the word? That is compatible. But to me, this is really about finding the balance between the lion, the strength of the lion, the courage, the standing up for what we want, but then also the ability to soften the lion, to be empathetic and understanding and compassionate here. And now we're going to get clarity about what our needs really are. A lot of us don't even know what our needs are. We've repressed them so much. There's really a focus on what are our real, true desires and the courage to actually stand up for them and to get them in relationship and to find some sort of harmony here and success. Wow, loving the messages here today for this week. This is going to be a great energy with this new moon in Libra. So enjoy, really take advantage of this. Take the time to hone in during this full moon energy. Put out some intentions. Do some cleansing and alignment with yourself. Help to find some balance and work on this integration and release that we're being asked to do as well. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Enjoy your third week of October, and I'll see you in the next reading.